little while back, we hit the donation goal to build BD-1, and that is what we're doing. Oh, box, I guess, actually. They only have so much surface space. We got BD-1. Soon we'll have BD-1. I have the probably jankiest setup possible, where I have my camera sitting on a coat hanger. I think I showed it last time, but so it's just hanging on a coat hanger like that. So hopefully it'll work all right. Oh no, I've messed up that one. But you're gonna see my hand for a second. There we go. That should work. But yeah, so it might get a little bit wobbly sometimes. I'm gonna do my best not to jostle the desk, but that's my high-tech setup. It is 1,000 pieces, I think. That's the back of the box, actually. Yeah, 1062. So Ian, Gadrin, Rayon, Rebel. So I'll try to stay centered on my fun bespoke document cam here. But this is technically our third Lego build. I posted the X-Wing one to YouTube. I never posted the TIE Fighter one, because that was when I first got my webcam, and it was freezing all the time. It was unsalvageable. But luckily that's been sorted out at least. Alright, the floor is where we're putting all the garbage right now. Yeah, so I figured over the course of this, if anyone has any questions about stuff, I'd do a mini AMA for this, I guess. I'm also kind of planning on talking a little bit about how I plan to approach YouTube stuff in the near future, at least. Just to give me a topic to go off on for a while. But we'll get to that naturally, maybe? I don't know. I'll try to make sure that I actually build the Lego in frame, I guess. I'm not going to try to narrate it the same way I did last time. I don't think you need a play-by-play of putting the pieces on, necessarily. Like, oh, look at that piece I just got on there. That didn't work out that well last time. So these go in. I don't think that matters. Yeah, that's on the. But we should be starting the CIS playthrough this week. So that's in the Fresh Rimward campaign that Joel's been working on. So that's very exciting stuff. Okay, yeah, that's good. We're getting to the end of the Imperial campaign, but there's still quite a bit to actually do on that one. Like we're getting what, like 1 planet per episode? Though as we wear down some of the forces, we're also taking down their capacity to build, so that won't get super far. Like they're not going to be rebuilding forever. And I recorded the stuff for the second Revan's Revenge Republic ground roster preview last night. So that will be going up probably tomorrow. I figured long video today because we're going to be building a 1,000-piece Lego set. And then short video tomorrow for Revan's Revenge. And then Sunday we'll have that other Empire at War episode come out. Basically, the big thing for this channel right now is finding the other kind of stuff that I can do for days where it's not going to be an Empire at War episode going out. Which, like, I don't want to obviously get rid of the Empire at War episodes, but I think if there's like 3 Empire at War episodes per week, then that still leaves 4 other days. So sometimes that's the news stuff, sometimes that's another game like Sins coming out. And hopefully next year there will be more other Star Wars games that come out. It's been a dry season for that since Squadrons. We got Fallen Order. So I want to do something, or rather, Jedi Survivor. I want to do something for Fallen Order. But part of that is what the challenge playthrough stuff was supposed to be, or is supposed to be. Where, like, the AI challenge, the Corvette challenge, missile challenge next. I've seen a few other suggestions for other challenge types that I'd like to try to do. The only thing with those is obviously I can't do that as like a filling every other day thing, because that is a lot of recording and editing time. So I'm not going to commit to any strict schedule for that. It's just whenever I'm able to do it. People do seem to have enjoyed that last one, especially, or both of them really. The big question with those is always like, if I'm spending fucking 60 hours on them, that's an exaggeration, but are they at least going to do moderately okay? And they seem to be, so that means I can justify spending more time on them. It's going to be the same thing with the... I'm shaking the desk again, sorry. It's going to be the same thing with the History channel that I just launched, where I've got to start off with... Oh god, this is a bunch of weird shit that I got to do. I'm starting off with slower or shorter videos, because those can help grow a lot more. And then I'll slowly get into longer ones. This can go over here. Hey, Black Wolf. Alright. Need this guy up at the top. Yeah, there we go. Right in the middle. Got it. Like, it's been nice with the shorts channel, not shorts, but the clips channel, where it can help subsidize other projects. Especially like right now, my big focus is trying to save for a house so I can stop paying rent someday. Just fuck rent. But that'll take time. Alright, so this goes... yeah. And then this goes over it? Hold on, did I fuck this up? I think I fucked this up. Okay, if you're like this, you have that one. Okay, no, that's correct. Then it just gets rotated around like this. Okay, I see now. Because then it goes over this. And where's the big yellow piece? There's a big yellow piece. Recreate the other side. Alright. We're good. Crisis averted. We have whatever this is. We have whatever this is. I think that's his body. Nope, it's supposed to be in there. Alright, we need 2 of these little small blue ones, and we need 2 of these tiny little yellow ones. I can't wait for Jedi Survivor. Like, I definitely need to do another Fallen Order run. I'm not sure whether that should be like a thing I stream entirely on Twitch and then try to edit that down as well. But it might also just be a thing I stream on YouTube, because I do want to make sure I'm doing like a live stream here every Friday. Ideally. Sometimes with the survival challenge stuff, which I haven't forgotten about, I just want to to get to the point where we could do the TR one, because I was expecting to have that done more by now, but it's not, like, on the TR side. So I kind of want to do like one of every faction and then loop back around. Alright, we got another thing over there. This guy's done. Need one of you. The regular gray one. Oh, Jeremy? Onward should have had DLC? Yeah, it would have been nice, but oh well. They had, like, some of the post-release support, but not that much. That didn't seem to be what they were going for with the period of Fallen Order and Squadrons, which is very sad. Squadrons is free right now, so I'd love to convince Ek and Charlie to play that next week. Unfortunately, that'd be after after the free week is done. But I did a clip on it at least, so maybe that'll single-handedly save the player base of Squadrons. Alright, that goes right on there, right? Yeah. 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 How much of the Revan's Revenge ground roster did you have to make up or use fan designs? For the 30 units we've done so far, the 30 vehicles, I don't think there's a single one. Like, obviously there's less to work off of there, but there's a lot of, like, background comic images we were able to extrapolate from. There was some concept art that we were able to use, so none that we've had to make up. Like, concept art is probably the biggest stretch there, but I think ultimately it fits. Especially, like, there's a Republic heavy vehicle that's kind of an extrapolation from some concept art for a unit that was made for Tor. Squadrons cost money to use the multiplayer? No. I'm gonna turn on chat on that. I don't think it really adds anything when you guys are literally sitting right there. Even the post-stream review, it'll show. Oh, the Mando artillery, yeah. So 29 out of 30, my bad. Unless there's another one worth not thinking of. Thank you, Nearly Infinite Tortoise, for the £5 donation, saying I have an unhealthy obsession with making large fleets of Syndics in TR. I was always loving the mods. Take care. Well, thank you very much. Very appreciated. Oops, I fucked up. Nice slide this in without... No. We got a piece. There we go. Syndics are one of the Empire of the Hands capital ships. Kind of their smaller or mainline one. And I think I can't remember what stream I talked about it in. If I even talked about it in a stream, but we are... No, I did talk about it in the last Empire War stream. But I don't think the episode for that's gone up yet. But we are going to be doing the Empire War XCon like we did in the summer. In the holidays in December. So that will be... I think on the 11th it was? There will be a proper announcement later, but... That should be fun. A lot of stuff to show up. Are we still upset at Wikipedia? I don't know. I wasn't involved in that. I only paid some attention to it. I don't know enough about what the material and question was. And how curated he was when holding on to it. So, I don't know. I did in the Discord server, Rayon, but not on the... I haven't done the official announcement on the channel or anywhere else. Okay, how's this work? Go all the way through? I think that goes all the way through. No, hold on. Does it? I think there's like 13 of us that have said they will be there. Then there's usually some who show up anyways. Okay. You go up like that. You're up like that. Went through the middle. Yeah, that whole theory's whole thing about Andor there was kind of ridiculous. But I already kind of went off on that on TapCaf. I didn't say any names when I did it, but I gave my opinion on the general state of that discourse. Like, YouTubers, almost universally, need to learn the phrase, "it's not for me." Rather than trying to make out as though their opinions are objective when it comes to stuff that's ultimately just their taste. You can try to communicate it, like you can try to communicate your reasons for it, but when you're scrambling that hard for it, like you don't always have to have that thing to say. Unless it comes to Battlefront 2, because just fuck Battlefront 2, objectively bad, the first one. Alright, how's this go? I'm gonna move this back over now that I've seen the fiddly bits that I needed. Looking off to the side isn't ideal. Looking down all the time isn't ideal either, but oh well. Gotta deal with it, LEGO stream. I've made some sort of reverse crane, I think. There we go. Like this, if this was facing the other way, I could lift stuff. But maybe that's why I'm not, like, a successful commentary YouTuber doing daily uploads on Datapad. Because my opinions aren't aggressively stated enough. And they're not strongly held enough beliefs. I wouldn't say I'm neutral, I just try to keep the things I'm actually talking about in perspective, the consequences of things I say. These go on all those edges. I'm also not going to make or withhold an opinion for clicks or fear of clicks. I don't know. You know what book you're going to be reading next with that? I'm not sure. It might be into the new year before we actually get back to... Sorry. Before we actually get back to reading on TapCap. Like, Ek and I are both very busy right now. Where, like, he's trying to focus on the hockey channel and stuff and get that up and running. I am trying to focus on getting the history channel to a point where it's actually monetized. I've talked about this shit too much in like in the Empire campaign, but this is in the title here, so it's okay for me to talk about it here. I've started getting a little bit self-conscious about like how much I've talked about that side of the channels in the Empire campaign recently, especially since starting the history channel. Like, I don't want it to turn into, like, Corey talks about his job all the time. But for here, this is, like, that's the only thing I have to talk about, so. But yeah, like, we obviously both like reading Star Wars books. We like both doing TapCaf, but when we have to read a book every week for that, plus whatever other research we're doing for other videos, especially with history now that I'm actually reading history books again for the first time in a long time, it can be a lot for something that's like not the biggest return. And that's the kind of sad thing about Datapad for me in general. I've had some of those videos take off, but like Datapad I post on the least because the kind of videos that I've tried to do on Datapad take the longest amount of time. So it's a little disappointing where like some of them get to like 50k views and that's really good. But the last one I did, like the 20-minute one that Ek got demonetized momentarily, that took a long, like that was most of my work week, and then that was 6.5 thousand views. So like it's just difficult trying to figure out how I can best portion out my time. Where, let's see. So 6.7 thousand views. How much money does a video like that make? About $30 for probably 25 hours of work. So you can see how that might not be a thing that I can do every week necessarily for a Datapad. Like, what I ultimately want to do, and part of why I started the Clips channel, which is less work, those videos take off more, is that can be used to like fund and redirect to the longer stuff that's more interesting to me. Where if I were able to hire an editor to help me with some of those elements of it, then there's more I'd be able to put out. And I just need to be able to get to the point where that's a financial possibility. Like, with all the channels, I have 4 channels that I try to post on regularly, which is a lot. So there's this one, there's the Clips channel, there's Datapad Briefs, not really a Clips channel. There's the History channel, and did I say Datapad? Loses Datapad, Datapad Briefs, and Common History. So ideally, Common History, Datapad Briefs right now are 1 or 2 a day. Loses once a day, and Datapad is like TapCaf plus ideally another video or 2 per week. So that's obviously a lot of stuff for people to watch and a lot of stuff for me to make. And I have no expectation that like the audience between all of them would be the exact same. Obviously, like the history one especially, if I can leech off some Kings and Generals viewers for that, then that'd be ideal. But I'm kind of just trying to overdo it right now, see what works. Then I'll probably have to back off some stuff because it can't all work and it's not all sustainable. But ideally, I'd find a way to get like other people involved to do some of the elements that I'm either less capable of or don't have the time for. How do I feel about the Aftermath trilogy? I really haven't read them yet. I've been waiting to get to them on TapCaf. We've been doing TapCaf for a few years now, and for those I was specifically waiting on them. I do not want someone else to run or write for Common History. I'm perfectly qualified to write for it, and that's the thing I have most interest in doing long term. That is my Star Wars has crashed and burned. This is what I'm doing. And Ranger is also military history. I don't think Ranger has the same background in social history stuff. Like, eventually I want to do both of those, but it's a less saturated YouTube market and something I'm more interested in. I have my own history degrees, thank you. Like, a lot of the datapad stuff recently, I've been trying to approach from that perspective as well. Because again, it takes longer, harder to do, but also what makes it most interesting and most different from other channels. Like, ultimately, part of why I'm trying to find other stuff to supplement on loses beyond just Empire at War playthroughs is there's like a limit on how much you can grow with that. There's not really many other channels that are doing Empire at War much either. Like Shaq doesn't do it very often anymore. He doesn't actually post on YouTube as often anymore. Like X2 was another one of the big channels for it, and obviously Eck and Charlie are like Charlie was only so interested in Empire War to begin with, and Eck like burnt out on it really hard. So there are other mods in their communities who are convinced that I have forbidden Eck from playing their mod. It is so fucking dumb to read. Then maybe someday, once I have less to do, I can properly go and do my master's degree. Find out which history clips video gets, or which common history video does the best after 2 years, and then turn that into a master's thesis. Okay, got all that. Want to get my master's in history? I'm still not 100% sure. Like, I was leaning towards history when I got out of university. My bachelor's degree is in history and poli-sci, and a lot of the stuff I did, I tried to kind of combine those. And like the degree I did, the specific degree I did, was geared towards people who were gonna go to the master's degree. There was only like 2 people in my actual specific program, which is what messed me up on Frost Week, where no one knew what faculty I was actually in, and I'm still not sure what my faculty was. But like a lot of what I did in 4th year with all the seminars was focus on like political history stuff. Not like, oh, this person was prime minister in this year, but like I did a bunch of stuff on the neoconservatives in the United States. And that was what I was kind of leaning towards as well, because there wasn't as much like actual academic writing on that as there could be. And it seemed like a good niche to get into, which might have changed in the last 10 years because I was less removed from it temporally. Because I did like one of my essays and seminars on the neoconservatives in the Iraq War, so why they were pushing for that, and like the Project for the New American Century and all that stuff, and another on the ideological roots of the neoconservative movement. Beyond that, I did a lot of like Canadian history. Most of my seminars in fourth year were Canadian history, American history related to that, and a couple like post World War II European ones, like European Space Agency, and a lot of that I'll probably try to like take my essays and turn them into videos for the channel. I've already done a lot of the research, and I just have to go back over them. At the very least, I'll have the access to the sources. Because I've only recently learned that I can actually go back to my university and I'd be able to use the library still. Really, I just want to do my master's degree as a way to get proper access to like home access to the library and get all the ebooks and shit so I can write videos. Just extend it for a year so that they can't kick me out. I wouldn't want to go into like actual academic. I'd stick with YouTube as much as I can. Becoming getting a job at a university is so difficult. Like, it's super saturated with like history, people wanting to go into history. Like in my friend group, like my main friend group, there's my one friend and her husband are like PhD philosopher, or have PhDs in philosophy of some kind, and like he's a professor, and I think ultimately that would be her goal as well. But like, they had to move to Alberta. They're from well, he's from Peru, but she's from Ontario. They had to move to Vancouver for a while, and then they had to move to Alberta just so he could find jobs. I'm looking for a specific piece, but I cannot find it. Am I just Oh, I think it just looks weird in the book. It's just supposed to be this gray, but it doesn't look that at all. Yeah, like, for having done YouTube as long as I have, like, I need to have a little bit more of my effort go towards, like, growth rather than stuff with a limited ceiling, is what that comes down to. So, like, mixing in the Empire at War playthroughs with those challenge videos, which have a lot more effort or a lot more capability to have longer legs, or even some of the shorter gaming news videos that I've done, where that helps bring new people in. So that's good. Like, I have nothing to complain about with my job. Like, I love my job and I want to be able to keep doing it as long as possible. And it's like entirely thanks to like patrons and donors that I've been able to do it for as long as I have. I want to make sure the especially with like recessions and everything, that I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna have to rebuild. Okay, thank God. This is not his feet. I thought this was his foot. I mean, I like this more than Mando Starfighter. I like BD-1, but that's because I'm the #1 BD fan, so I don't know if that's a bias or just a correct conclusion. Only you can decide that for yourself. Like, I think BD-1 is cute enough that Dana might actually let this Lego set live outside of the basement. That other one. Here we go. Rates that I'm leaving off for like several steps. Hopefully not causing anyone anxiety. Alright, how's this go? On the front of this, I got my nephew like a Dino Park Lego set for his birthday. So I'm hoping that actually made it intact, because I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen... My sister hasn't confirmed that it's made it there, or the other thing that I got him has made it there. So I need to check on that. But I also need to like get tickets to go there, so... Yeah. I haven't really gone for a long trip to see my family for like since COVID started. So next year I probably need to do that. Like I haven't seen anyone on my dad's side for years now. I just don't want to take that much time off work. Also, COVID is still a problem. The annoying thing is, so Ontario, we have the Via train, which I can take from Ottawa to Toronto, and that goes down like the corridor all the way to the States, down to like the tip of the Ontario little peninsula thing at the end of the Great Lakes. I think you can go to Windsor all the way through that, which is great. But then there's the Niagara Peninsula, which is where my family actually lives, and from Toronto to some of the like surrounding areas out through like Hamilton and a lot of the other areas there, you can take the GO train, which has pretty regular service everywhere. But for Niagara and St. Catharines, there's like once a day that it comes and goes from there, and they've apparently stopped the service to St. Catharines, which is what I'd actually need. Then I fucked this up. I am just going to... Hold on, did I fuck this up? No, I don't think I did. False alarm. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're fine. Like the last few times I've gone down, I take the Via Rail train, and I take the GO train, and then I have to take the GO bus from Hamilton to St. Catharines. But I'm not sure how, like, it's not a very regular one. I don't know why they stopped the train service. It's very sad. They need to make it more regular. Like, there's plans to make it more regular, but then they keep kind of backtracking on it. It's so annoying. I want to be able to get off of the Via train and go straight from the Union Station. That's good there. Is this a foot? No, this is the back. This is the other side of the torso again. I guess this bag is just torso. Also, also nearly done. Just Torso was actually going to be Jin Urso's name for a while. They changed their minds on that. Shockingly. It's like, stick to your guns, you know? Justice for Jin Torso. Just Torso. I messed it up already. Never mind. Joke's over. Alright, that looks... right. I was planning after I moved here to get like one or two of the Thrawn's Revenge models 3D printed, but I still don't have like a full office setup here, a proper office setup. I've been in persistent temporary living mindset for it. Like once we move, then I'll definitely have proper office studio setup planned, and that's actually one of the things with Datapad is rather than doing everything of like the videos edited the way they are, I'd want to do some of the topics as like just me sitting on camera or something. I need a better haircut, I guess. That'd save so much time. Because like a lot of it, I'm just struggling to find and record movie clips that work for it. Oh, see if I need that, whatever that was. I don't think I need that, whatever it was, whatever rolled away. Events. Events. On this one. There we go. I think that's that bag done. I'm gonna see what just dropped. No idea. Can't find it. Have I watched the World Cup? No, I'm not really a soccer fan. I promised Eck if he picks a team for me once the Stanley Cup starts, when the playoffs start, then I'll watch that, but that's the extent of my sports plans for the year. Alright. What the fuck is this? What are those pieces? I don't see those pieces. Is there another bag too? 3, 5, 2. Okay, then there's 2 2s. Did I misread that? Oh, was that 6? Am I fucking stupid? I think I'm fucking stupid. Numbers are hard, okay? I I'm gonna say the bag was folded in such a way as to trick me. Well, just gotta move that out of the way. Okay, this is bag 2, for real, this time. I swear. If I do this again, I definitely need a better setup for the bar. Alright. I've never seen these kind of pieces before. I don't know if they are... No, there's no way this is custom. It feels like it's almost like some kind of fishing trawler set that got repurposed. Doop. Doop. Click, click. It says that in the instructions. I'm following the instructions by saying that. Alright, those are all in. I think that's everything for that yet. One. I have a feeling the next one is going to be the same. Oh yeah, look at that. Shocking. If true. Buckets. Limpening. There we go. Are you not clicked in? No, I think we're good. Get in there. There you go. Here you go. Here you go, bud. Alright, we need a nice little L bracket. Like you. Need you. We need you. And a bigger one. Then this one. Like, house prices have gone down considerably in Ottawa, but it's still ridiculous. So we're probably going to be waiting a while. Like, we also have very specific areas that'll work for us. So, like, every day I basically check the realtor said, even though we couldn't buy one right now, even if the perfect thing came out. I'm just very curious every day. Like, there was one that we really liked, but it sold yesterday. But again, we still wouldn't have been able to buy it anyways. Like, we have a few advantages there where we don't want a garage. We are perfectly happy for like a duplex or something. Not necessarily a condo because we don't want to pay condo fees, but townhouse is fine. We don't need anything huge. And we're also willing to buy something that's like not great that we can fix up, because there'd be like, if we can do that over time and then do whatever we like, have whatever we want to do with like a kitchen or my office or bedroom or whatever. So we get to look at much cheaper houses even aside from that, but it'll still be probably a while. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, rent sucks. Well, that's the thing, William. The St. Catharines service is stopped right now. Like, the Lakeshore West schedule doesn't show it unless it's just for a temporary period. Like, I've done the route before, but it's annoying that the St. Catharines trip is only once a day. Then I'm waiting it via, if I'd get it from St. Catharines, or I guess from Niagara now, which is annoying because they have to backtrack. If I get it from St. Catharines, then I'm waiting at the Via station for 2 hours. And the problem with trying to set up your Via trip to be able to go on Lakeshore West to get to St. Catharines or Niagara when it's once per day is the Via trains are pretty much always delayed by at least half an hour to an hour. So the last 2 times I did it, I set it up so I'd have an hour between my train arriving from Ottawa into Toronto and the GO train that goes all the way to the Niagara region leaving. But because of delays while we had to wait for freight trains to go by, my train would be just late enough that I'd be able to see the train I needed to be on leaving. And then if I try to take the one before, then I'm waiting for upwards of 3 or 4 hours at Union for that go, which makes it not worth it. So like, I end up taking the go to Burlington, and then I go on the bus, but that's another hour of waiting. Like, it's annoying when it's a 7-hour trip if you don't wait for fucking 2 hours between 3 different legs, and then it's like all day if you do. Like, if the Via trains were more reliable, then it wouldn't be as much of a problem. Like, if I could be reasonably sure that the train is actually going to arrive on time, which it will when they do the high frequency rail, but that's going to still take some time. Like, that's what, 2027 that it's going to be allegedly ready? I don't know why I did that 2 times. I'm going to need to do it again, so whatever. I saw the step 2 there, and I don't know, I read that as do it twice while I was talking. Alright, we need 2 of these. We need to go with the little guys on each side. 1 here. 1 here. Shit, did I fuck something up on that? Oh, I never put that through, but I can't put that through. Oh, wait, no, that goes in the middle of those. I see. That makes more sense now. My bad. I missed a step. Like, they've slowly increased the service on the GO train to Niagara, but it's still backslide sometimes. I don't understand the cancellation of St. Catharines trips. It drives through the station, so I don't know if it's like a temporary thing because of like construction or something, or what. Oh, this is supposed to be the other way. Like, when Via Rail has its own... has the high-frequency rail corridor, then it's going to be so much better. But I don't think that is for another, like, 4 years. That was a weird thing about going on the Halifax trip as well. The bus to the airport in Ottawa, you can only get there on the 97 airport version. Like, there's a 97 that goes most of the way, but then stops. And then only one every half hour goes all the way to the airport. Which seems ridiculously low. It's not like it's that much farther to the airport than to South Keys, but they've decided no. But we're also doing the train extension to the airport, which will be much more frequent. Even though it's handled a little bit weirdly there. Actually, will it be frequent? At least it'll be inside. But it's also a much higher capacity than the bus. But on top of that, they're also like expanding the fucking airport parkway. So like the roads that go there, even though the roads are never that busy going to the airport. So they won't make the fucking airport bus every 15 minutes. But we'll spend like a fuck ton of money to widen the roads that really need to be widened. So annoying. Okay, this goes this way. Looks out this way. These go... okay. I think these are supposed to be... I think these are supposed to be the other way around, actually. Yeah, like even the situation now with the train is much better than it was, at least. But it's still not good. Because, like, when I was in university, up until, I think my mom dying was, like, the first time I took the train. Or, well, she was sick. After I'd moved back up in 2017 or 2018, at least. Yeah, 2018 at least. Before then, I always took the Greyhound. This one as well. Don't know where that went. Figure that out later. I did the exact same thing. Okay. There. Yeah, now the Greyhound is shut down. Which... Because I never really would have been able to do the whole train up anyways. But the train is actually relatively cheap. That's the Via. Here, like... Okay, I'm gonna pay more attention this time to the instructions. That goes there. And I think, I'm not actually sure, is this a leg? No. I'm not sure what this is. Exciting to find out. Okay, you go through there and through there. That, and then we have the exact same piece going on this way. So Ottawa also has like a, I'm sure most cities have this, a like just Christmas store. It's a year-round Christmas store, and it's gigantic. I think we're going to be trying to go to that this weekend, maybe even tonight. Depends if Dana's legs are functional. So that'll be exciting. Right, this still goes like this. This still goes like this. I think they go together like this. It. Yeah, Ottawa does have an LRT, so it's not the full system yet. I like what's there. It's had some pretty big problems. Like there's an inquiry going on. We're gonna get the results of on why certain parts ended up how they did. But like there were some issues with the trains and some other issues in development. We got a bunch of sinkholes downtown that I think other places might have heard of. They didn't. But yeah, like it's all very far behind schedule because Ottawa's a really wide city. It goes along the river, and there's like your perspective, that would be, I guess that'd be Orleans, Canada. There's like, you can, it'd probably take like 40 minutes to drive from either end, maybe an hour. But the LRT started going from like downtown to Dunny's Pasture, which is where I used to work when I worked for StatsCan, out east to Blair. So that's like through kind of the middle of town and then out to another section. We used to have without traffic. Like if you just stayed on a trafficless highway. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but I also don't drive, so I don't fucking know. Like, it is a very, very wide city. But yeah, so there used to be a second train, like I guess the first train that went like slightly north and south from downtown to Carleton University. But that's shut down right now because part of the plans with the train was to expand that, was to extend that one. That's the one that's going to go down to the airport. It's the Trillium line, line 2 now, even though it was the first one. And that was supposed to be completed like 3 months ago, but it's not going to be opening until next year. And the line 1, the new line, is supposed to go further out east to Orleans, and then from the city center further out west to Canada, with another like south extension off that as well. And I think each of those, like the eastern line, eastern extension isn't as far behind, it's only a year behind. But I think the other one is like super far behind schedule. Part of that is COVID, part of that is other things. I only, like, personally, the East End is the one that affects me the most that I'd be using. But like, I've never, there's like Bayshore Mall. The only IKEA in the city is in the West End, and that's going to be one of the LRT stops basically. So if I ever need like cabinet doors, then that's the one I need to do. Otherwise, it's like a bunch of weird ass buses to do it. Okay, hold on. I don't think this will show. I can use my phone for this. I'm really jostling everything around. Let's see. Let's do Canada Town Center to Place d'Orleans. Yeah, like absolutely no traffic. It's 40 minutes to drive that. Yeah, downtown, the LRT is underground. It goes underground from just after the University of Ottawa to basically to Tunney's pasture. And then it's going to be like semi-covered for the rest of the West End, which is part of why it's taking longer, because they slightly changed what they were doing with that. I think. So I like following the updates on it, just because I think it's neat. So I signed up for, there's an email, a mailing list that's primarily to let you know about like traffic updates, so you can like plan your commute around it, or if there's like XX noise. But they email it out and it has all of the construction plans for that week. And I thought because like you email to sign up for it, and I thought it was just like an automated system where like you email and then you get added to the mailing list. So I was like, cool, I'll do that. And so I emailed, but it turned out like it's not an automated thing. There's like someone who sits there, gets the emails, and then manually adds you to the list. Because I got a response from a person being like, thanks, Corey, you're added now. I was like, oh, I had no intention of talking to a person, and now I just feel awkward. Thanks. Hey, sometimes, Miles. IKEA is great for if you have no money but need some furniture. Don't have $1 trillion for a couch? Go to IKEA. Holding as well. Oh well. I'll build it on with pieces. Fine. Also, if you don't want to be fucked around on delivery for 6 months, just taking home a box of IKEA furniture is nice for that as well. We were waiting for our bed for like 6 months too. When we called the delivery company, they're like, yeah, this... They got so many complaints about the furniture company that we'd order from. So if you're Canadian, never order furniture from Lastman's Bad Boy. On top of having the dumbest fucking name, it's a terrible, terrible company. I don't know if they operate in other countries. I assume they're Canadian. This goes like that. This goes like that. This goes like ant. Got another one of these guys that goes on. What the fuck am I looking? There it is. There it is. Yeah, I hadn't built any Legos for so long, since I was a kid. But then Dana got me a little Millennium Falcon, like the 50-piece Millennium Falcon for Christmas last year. And I got my older nephew, some Legos for his birthday or Christmas. And I was like, ooh. It's cool. Then I saw the Lego Titanic because it was on display at the Rito Center. I'd also seen it online a couple times, but then I saw it in the Rito Center and it was like, ooh, this actually looks even cooler in person. Like growing up, I loved the Titanic. I was like so into the Titanic. And then I got myself that for my birthday. I am missing a piece that I fired off into this end of my office. It's gotta be under something. Oh, there it is. How long did it take me to build the Titanic? Couple weeks. I did like one bag a day. Or like I started off doing one bag a day because I was trying to make it last. But I think by the end, I just I was doing one bag a day on the weekends. And it turned into like, yeah, it ended up going way faster than it should have. It did get a little repetitive because like it's 6 big sections, and for 4 of the middle sections, like 90% of it is doing the same layer after layer. But it was still a lot of fun. is offset a bit. There we go. BD can almost stand. I can't stand to see him like this. Oh, son of a bitch. That's why it was doing that. I'm dumb. Still dumb. This is why I don't do all my mod work on the modding live streams. Because it's so much easier to just have something up. And this is with like actual instructions right in front of me, rather than trying to figure out what I'm doing as I'm going. I like doing the modding live streams, but it's also the slowest way to mod. Faces away. There we go. How did I set up the down-facing camera this time? The same way I did last time. It's still a coat hanger on the... A coat hanger that I've poorly taped and weighed down. I've got the Great Cat Massacre and Canadian Federalism sitting on the back of the coat hanger to give it enough weight to counterbalance the webcam. And the rest is held onto the top of the monitors by Scotch tape, which is why it's shaky. Victoria stream. There will be another one. Maybe next week. You got... Thing is, Pokemon is kind of taking the priority of a lot of those right now. Pokemon, Andromeda, and Victoria are all in the same boat there. Next EAW playthrough, that's also next week. The CIS will be starting next week. Ooh, we're at 120. Not sure how good of time that actually is. We're okay. There's what, 6 total bags. We just finished bag 2 almost. I don't think the other bags are quite. Well, bag 3 actually looks pretty big. I think we're probably halfway through the build. Throwing them. If I just throw all the pieces, then it takes longer. My favorite Lego so far? I don't think anything beats the Titanic, honestly. Oh, I gotta do that again. I should have realized. My favorite historical period? I mean, I tend to end up reading more about like the more recent history than anything. I don't know that I have a favorite per se, though. Like, early modern stuff ends up being a lot. Like the 16 to 1800s. All these pieces are trying to get away. Right. We have two legs. Or 2 feet. Gotta put the beams on the feet. And then slide BD into, oh, fuck. No, I didn't do it backwards. I just had him standing backwards. Fine. Good. Is this all the way in? Yeah, that goes all the way in. These go from the outside through. Thoughts on Napoleon? It wasn't my favorite Total War. It actually might be my least favorite Total War. I don't know, it just felt like a lot of the bad parts of Empire were there. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance when I was younger, though. There we go. Got some BD-1 slippers on. Can I make his pose as cute as the one in the box? On to bag 3. It has multiple bags. One bag 3. On the game Risk very boring. I wouldn't disagree with you on that. Then Dane and I play a reasonable number of board games, and a couple of years when we were buying like our first round, I guess, we spent so long like looking them up, and I bought a game named Barony, and it was kind of expensive, and it turned out to be absolute trash, and I'm very sad about that. So we just have a copy of Barony. sitting in our game cabinet that we spent a ton of money on and that we played once because it sucked. It just makes me sad anytime I look at it. On the other hand, there is Villainous, which is actually a lot of fun if you can get a group playing. There's the Star Wars Villainous version now. There's Disney Villainous, which has a ton of expansions, and there's Marvel Villainous. We have Marvel and Star Wars Villainous. Our friends have Disney Villainous. And it's actually really good. I gotta get the whip in there. Yeah, Ottawa has 2 board game cafes, or at least had 2 board game cafes when we last went. One of them got shut down not long ago. There was one downtown and there was one in Sandy Hill. Technically, Rayon, they're not. But, I mean, like, there's nothing really stopping you from doing it. The Marvel ones are not as interoperable with the other, with Disney and Star Wars, because, like, the Marvel ones, there's a common pool of the Fate deck. The mechanics are similar throughout all of them. I think the Star Wars one and the Disney one would work fine together. Like, Dane and I were talking about that. Yeah, like, the credit chips are different, but it's not like you share those. It's not like it. I don't see why it'd be different. Like, even Marvel you could kind of get away with, but there's a bit more, like, board-to-board interaction in that makes it harder. Yeah, the Marvel one, I can definitely see the limitations on. But I think Star Wars would work with Disney. I do wish I could be more into like the X-Wing tabletop and stuff. Everything is just so expensive, and that'd be a game that I don't have anyone to play with. Like, we did some of the tabletop sim rounds of it. Oops. Same thing with, like, D&D. Or I'd love to play more TTRPGs in general. Like, I really love doing Edge of Despair, but the problem with Edge of Despair, our tabletop series, is that it relies on other people being available and doing more work than me, because I'm not the GM on those. If I were the GM, like if I learned to GM and then I took the time to set everything up, then it'd be easier for, like, Kalo and them to just play. But if Kalo's got to do the setup for every week and he's not even getting anything out of it, then it's harder for him to justify. I'd love to be able to go back to doing the tabletop stuff and like pay everyone, but sadly do not have the budget. I paid for I commissioned all the character art from Valerie last time for Edge of Despair 3. But ultimately, I was like, I think I spent more on that series than, like, just on that art than the whole series had ever made. Which is kind of the problem of being, like, streaming being my job, and then I spend more money on the games than the streams make. So it makes it a bit, I have to rely on the other YouTube stuff a little bit more. Shockingly, I know. Okay. That's... like, if we had a party and a GM that could commit to it and I could, like, properly compensate everyone, then I'd do it. Like, if Shaq messaged me and wanted to do it again with a party, like, then I'd do it. I don't have to worry about paying Shaq. Shaq's doing fine on his own. It's a shame we never got to finish the Rebel Squadron series of it either. But that had circumstances outside of everyone's control going on as well. Yeah, I think they were looking for testers for that new RPG, or not. Is it an RPG? Like, it's a tabletop war game, right? Hoping we get more, like, source books with new ships. Okay, you go in there with these guys going on this one. Got a leg. A Lego leg. Right, this one's already different than the other leg. Like, I'm not concerned about, like, oh, I always need to do whatever thing makes the most money. That is definitely not my goal. I just need to... I'm trying to figure out ways that I can make sure that I'm doing content that is sustainable. And that has some sort of long-term... like, gives the channel's long-term ability to stick around. Like, as long as I have stuff that's working out that can fund other stuff that might be less popular but more fun, then that stops me from having to get a real job. And I can just keep doing whatever fun stuff comes up forever. I just need to make sure I have that baseline. That's what clips do. Like, Ek keeps telling me to do an esports clip channel, and he's right, like, that would get a ton of views. I don't have the time to do another channel like that, and I don't have that great of a basis for doing an esports one. Time. He needs more time. More time or the ability to just clone myself so that I'm working for me. Like, the employee I hire is me. It's a control issue thing, as much as anything. Like, the thing that I can think of that has, like, the highest opportunity for, like, getting someone else to help with it would be, like, the challenge playthroughs. If I play the game, record it, write the script, record the script, and then send all the footage to someone, then that'd save, like, 5 hours. And they're probably the closest thing to being able to afford that. I don't want to be like Charlie, where I'm just hiring someone to edit every video. Well, I'm not really looking for anything specific in an editor yet, in that first thing I'm looking for in an editor is the ability to pay them. And I know there are people, like, there are probably viewers of the channel who would be like, oh, I'd do it for, like, very little money, but then I don't want to exploit someone like that. I feel like that would be taking advantage of viewers. I don't want to use the word fan, but that word does feel kind of icky to me the same way. Like, when Justin, that is something that Justin, yeah, got a point. Like, it'd ultimately, for that, ideally it'd be someone better at editing than me that can do, like, slightly more in-depth stuff to same style of videos as, like, the Victoria Challenge video and the Empire at War Challenge videos. You're taking that footage and cutting it down to show the stuff that I'm talking about, but also, like, having a bit more to it than what I was able to do with those. Like, I saw a channel that I think is otherwise pretty good. I'm not very familiar with them, but it's like a topical YouTube channel, I guess, where they put out videos on topics, and so it'd be like a 10 to 20 minute script and the editing. And they were trying to get they were trying to get people to do the script writing for them, and the rates seemed ridiculous, but they'd still get writing samples for that because it's a big channel that has a lot of fans, and especially for younger fans, where they're thinking like, oh, I get to work for this channel that I like. I'd get the opportunity to do stuff for them. And at a certain point, it has to be up to the channel to say, like, we could get people to do this for us for this low price, but it seems unethical for us to do that. And I feel like they weren't willing to make that determination. And that's not a position I want to be in, or that I'd want to put someone else in. Especially for channels that I knew could afford more than that. Like, I can't see their analytics. I don't know exactly how much they're making, but I know how much a video with, like, X amount of views would typically make. And the amount that they were offering was not consistent with how much money I knew they'd make off of it. I'll let you all know when the mod starts bringing in the big bucks guy. I did pay Ranger to do something for the New Republic guide, which I haven't released yet because I haven't finished it yet. I have it scripted. I have the unit icons, or not icons, the tooltips. I need to finish that. I was working on that actually right before I went to Halifax, and then I just forgot about it when I got home. It turns out 4 to 6 videos per day to release is a lot. It's a lot of stuff. And I was personally shocked by that being the case. Right. We have the red piece here. Need those gray ones. Wait, do these... Oh, it's got to be these, because they latch in the other way. There's like one on loses, one on datapad briefs, one on history clips, and ideally another one on, like 2 on datapad briefs. Plus sometimes one on datapad, and then any Twitch streams I do are on top of that. Because the Empire at War ones can turn into YouTube videos, but a lot of the other ones don't, without like significant editing for like challenge type stuff, like the Victoria one. And that's why I don't have the esports clips. Well, the History channel is only new this week, but datapad briefs I've been doing since like Andor started. And that one's going really well. Loses is doing really well as well. Well, really well. Doing well. Doing fine. It's just a time thing. That's really what it comes down to. Is my time management skills. But I'd love to be able to do like better editing for video, more in-depth stuff. But that's both not my skill set and more time consuming. Like the datapad videos, the campaign videos and the battle breakdown videos, those end up being like a lot of editing all the time in Blender, and having people ask what fucking video game I recorded them in. I fucking animated this whole thing. Shut up. Go away. Yeah, this is the droid from Fallen Order. Yeah, like those would have to be getting 100,000 views to break even for time. Oh, there it is. Thought I was missing something. Like, realistically, it's better to not do as much as I do, and instead do one of those things really well. Well, like, I mean, not one of those things, but to do a much smaller subset of those things really well instead of everything poorly. But without knowing exactly what works or what doesn't, this goes up here. Okay. It's harder to say, like, oh, I'm just going to go really hard on this one thing, and then turns out that doesn't work out. Oh well, sucks to suck. He smiles. Sometimes. I mean, I'm also... I don't give things up easily. I'm very stubborn when it comes to things that I do. Like, if I start a thing, then I have very little desire not only to, like, give it up if it's not working, but also to just call it finished someday. So it's definitely been a thing where I've been trying to put more focus on, like, improvement rather than just doing whatever the thing is that seems like it might need to be done. Like, rather than saying, oh, I need to get X many videos out on loses, it's more, I need to keep these series going, but also, what is the next thing I can do that's going to be decent, and is this other thing turning out to be worth doing? Like, if people aren't interested in something, why keep doing it? If it's just taking up time and not getting anywhere. I'm not running out of ideas or anything. The problem is always having too many ideas of things that I want to do, and then not having enough time to execute on them or enough resources to execute on them. Yeah, that's the thing, Black Wolf. Like, how much stuff that, like, doesn't take off immediately isn't taking off immediately because of not having the potential versus not having the... just not being there quite yet. Like, one of the things... it's not that the algorithm is weird per se. Like, different stuff gets prioritized and has been in other times. Like the shorter form videos, for example, are like very heavily. Oh, this is. Yeah, I did the wrong thing. Like, I was able to grow datapad briefs really quickly to the point that I'm like, the videos that I've put out there for the last few days have been almost all over 10K, several at like 40K, 50K. Like, one of the things that I think one of the most important things that I've learned from Eck in particular is that for a lot of stuff on YouTube, if you have the right idea and are executing it the right way and taking advantage of like properly framing it, then if an idea really is good, then it can grow really fast. Like, you can see almost immediate results if you have the right idea at the right time, executed the right way. There's definitely like a luck element to it of stuff taking off or not. But if you're stagnating, then you probably need to try something else. Like, if you're like just sticking at the bottom like that, then rather than grinding away at the same things not working and kind of treading water, like, YouTube as a job especially, there's no job security. Like, you're lucky to have a few years. So put that on this side. Nope, I can't build that on this side. Like, if you need to kind of not be too precious with like exactly what you want to be working on or doing. You have to figure out what way to frame it, which includes titles and thumbnails, but it's like the type of content you're doing is important for that as well. Like, shorts are a great way to grow, but if you're like a year in doing shorts on a topic, for example, and you're only getting like 2,000 to 5,000 views on shorts, then you're probably missing something and need to reevaluate what you're covering and how you're covering it. And that, like, obviously that doesn't apply if you're just making videos because you want to make videos. Obviously, like, do whatever you find interesting, and who cares if you're getting a ton of views. But if you're concerned about being able to keep it as a job or grow it into a job, that's kind of the thing. Once you've had one thing get really successful, it's easier to do the other stuff, partially because you know what's going on and partially because there's a transferability of those audiences. But yeah. Yeah, like with shorts and clips, they're like they can really take off, but with those especially, it really shows you how important like the topic actually is, or how relevant the topic is to be able to get anywhere. Like on Datapad Briefs, I do daily Star Wars related videos. So for the last little while, it's been mostly Andor. Before then, it was a lot of like behind the scenes production stuff, which I'm going to have to get back into with Andor done. But also when Tales of the Jedi was on, I was doing Tales of the Jedi stuff. And leading up to Tales of the Jedi, if I did a Tales of the Jedi video, I'd get like 500 views, 1,000 views. And then, wow, like in the week of Tales of the Jedi's release, I got like 150,000 or something on one of the Tales of the Jedi videos. And then I tried to do it, a video that probably would have done really well day of release. And it was like a week later, and it got like 2,000 views. But those, like, if you're not doing it right away, then don't bother. But if you can strike that gold, then it goes really well. BD is coming great. The camera is so much better than this one. Like, again, for me, I care more about being able to do the stuff that I want to do rather than like just whatever will work out at whatever time. But I need to have a mix. I need to. If I don't do the stuff that works somewhere, then I don't get to do anything. So if there's a B2 emo set, I will almost definitely do this again. Yeah, video release timing is important. Honestly, if you are a smaller channel in a topic that you know has a lot of demand, but there are other bigger channels that do it as well, i.e., for me doing Star Wars clips, I have had a lot of success in posting in the middle of the night. Because no one else is posting a video at that time. Because like X Clips is a much bigger channel. Vader's Fortress, all those channels. So if I think we might all have similar topics that we might be doing, and I want any chance of being the video to take off, I'll do a cheeky little 2 a.m. drop when I know they're not doing it. Because then I'll get the people who are up at that point. I mean, I can see the demographics of who's watching the video, and it's not that the views are coming from India. There are plenty of night owls who are there, and then if there's no other new videos, those ones are going to be recommended. Alright, we got the chassis. The legs. I just kicked the microphone. Like, part of being a smaller channel doing similar things to larger channels is that you can't just do the same things that they'd get success with. Like, you have to have an angle that they're not using. It's part of why, like, if I did a complete French Revolution video on history clips right now, or common history, not history clips. Oh, sorry, that was disgusting. What is this piece? Like, if I did just a 20-minute complete French Revolution video, then there are so many bigger channels that have already done that, unless mine was, like, so good, like, really good editing, really good everything, that just blows everything else out of the water, that someone, like, shares it around everywhere. It'd just be... It wouldn't get anywhere. Whereas, like, trying to do the Great Cat Massacre video, for example, there's a higher chance, not a guarantee, but a higher chance that that's going to take off more, because no one else is talking about the Great Cat Massacre on YouTube. No one does social history. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, you can think you're doing something, oh, this will be fantastic, and then it does shit. So, persistence as well. Did I, like, forget? I think so. Oh, I think I did. There. I fixed it. There we go. These go in the leg joints there. That's gonna be interesting. Hey, put this in the other direction. Hello, Kevin. How's it going? Yeah, that's much easier. Other direction. You have to send me the channel link, Blackwolf. Like, a year ago, a Clips channel that was opening Pokemon cards would probably have fucking just slayed. I don't know if that's the case now, though. There's this. This is at the top. Some interior caps on the knees. I assume these are all spare. The fact that those red ones, I have 2 of each, concerns me. But oh well. If I did it wrong, I did it wrong. We're on to bag 4. Okay, yeah. No pressure, obviously. Don't have to send me it at all. Totally understand that. I have friends who, like, they'll talk about how, oh, I told all my coworkers about your channel. Like, that's... Why'd you have to do that? I don't want people to know that I do this. Maybe someday I'll get there with the history channel. I'll be okay with that going out somewhere, but... I don't need my friends' coworkers seeing I do Empire at War playthroughs. I don't feel like that's not a high chance that they're going to be interested in that. Especially then I can't, like, complain about friends and family. They, like, if there was a chance that they'd, like, open the stream and see it, they're like, ooh, yeah. Where the fuck is the... I need the pieces. Where's the pieces? You took my pieces. My Reese's pieces. I mean, realistically, I shouldn't be a YouTuber. I don't have the personality to be a YouTuber. But I have the deep-seated need for attention. So I make it work. Maybe I don't have the... Maybe I should say a streamer. YouTubers don't have to be quite as gregarious and outgoing as streamers. I don't yell enough to really catch on. If I yelled more, if I like pretended to get really excited about shit, instead of just like a lukewarm, okay, response to everything, then maybe that'd do better. Like, over the next year, you'll all start to see me fake enthusiasm more. So slowly, I turn into Tyler 1. I get like a single CS kill in League of Legends, and it's fucking... Let's fucking go! Then I'll like cry myself to sleep every night, thinking of what I've become. Oh, I have a good voice for it. I know that. My friend said that before I started. Even when I had a shitty mic. I like the sound of my own voice. So whenever people say, like, oh, I'm not talking because I like the sound of my own voice, I am 100% talking because I like the sound of my own voice. I find it very soothing. It's a good way to cure my own headache. Actually, it gives me a headache eventually, but then it cures my own headaches. That's the bigger thing for me. Like, I am very shy and introverted. And like sometimes after a big stream, like if there's a really active stream or a lot of people, I'll need to like really decompress because there's just overstimulated. Like sit in a dark hole for a while. But the other thing about my voice though is that it sounds better to me than it does to you. Like I've heard recordings of my voice. It sounds much better in my head than in recording. Which, like, I think everyone probably feels that way. But what I'm trying to say is you're all missing out. So, sorry about that. I could manipulate it in Audacity to like deepen it and stuff for videos. Not that anyone I know does that. Charlie. But I don't. Where's... Oh, that's where that is. 4 on the front. It took me years of like specifically trying to make my voice sound like it has any emotion though too. That's the other problem. Any emotion in my voice is an affectation. And there's not much to begin with. Going and listening to like the oldest YouTube videos that I've done on this channel or on the Thrawn's Revenge channel especially, it's nothing. There's no... I'm like a robot. More like a robot than I am now. Sometimes in Jedi Fallen Order. Welcome to Corey's Datapad, when today we are going to be talking about Corey's Datapad. The Senate is here to stay. Oh, this just slides in there? Are you sure? Is that what we're doing? No, that doesn't do that. That slides on this end. Where the stims pop out? Oh, he's got a fucking little package. Look at that. Got a shelf. Okay, I shouldn't have said he's got a little package. That has different connotations. I think it goes in the other way though. Does it? Hold on. If it's like this, then yeah, this goes up in that way. can stop it from opening too far. There we go. Funnily enough, actually, when I was meeting them, of the two, the one whose voice, like, talking to them surprised me the most was Justin. Because Charlie, his microphone sounds like, when he's not doing the affected video presenter voice, like when he's talking on stream or whatever, like his microphone sounds like him, his voice sounds like him. But Justin sounds more like his older, like, I think his microphone is really good, but it also sounds different. Like, he has the best microphone of the three of us, but part of the result is that his voice sounds the most different. Like, his video presenter voice is different from his actual voice, even compared to like streaming. If you go and listen to some of his older videos, that sounds more like talking to him than even talking on stream. Actually, I don't know if he has a better mic than Charlie. Both of them have a better mic than me, I think. Okay, we got these. Got these. I suppose I should. I don't think I called it out at the start, but this stream is from a donation goal, so thank you to all the donors. Especially, I don't think Triton's here, but I think he had the by far biggest contribution for this one. So hopefully he gets to see the VOD. It's been a while since I've set up a new donation goal, though. This stream also brought to you by random sex bot spam things. Wouldn't be a stream without spam bots on YouTube or hate raids on Twitch. Goes in the middle, that goes there. On top, this faces away. Lines up the yellow with the yellow. I think we got ourselves fine piece. There we go. Hate raid. So there are on Twitch, sometimes using the actual raid feature, sometimes just organized through like a Discord or something else. People will, because like Twitch, you can send people from one stream to another, but you don't always have to use that feature for it. Like at the end of the stream where I'll like send all the viewers over to X2 or to Wasted or whomever. And like it's a big part of how people find new channels. So like it's generally a good feature. But if you are a dickhead, there are channels who will send all of their viewers to another channel, often a minority, like a person of color or LGBTQ streamers get targeted a lot. And they'll basically have their entire chat go to that streamer and just write slurs at them. And it is a very big problem on Twitch. Ooh. I haven't actually listened to the Star Guardian Talia stream sessions thing. So, who knows if this music will be good. But yeah. I've had smaller, non-organized, like non-raid using versions of it come to my streams once or twice, but nowhere near the same extent as a lot of people face. Like all they could do was call me old. Like it was funny when there was a group that came to my stream because like they were trying to insult me, saying like it was a stream with Ack and Charlie, so like the insults that they were saying were like nowhere near anything that we were saying to each other. But they didn't figure out any like targeted characteristics of it. It wasn't like a whole organized thing. It's a very different problem from what a lot of times black streamers or gay or trans streamers end up facing. Like a lot of those channels end up having to turn off the feature, which is a big part of how like people are discovered on Twitch. So it's professionally a huge detriment to them because they can't use that big discoverability feature because like it's far more likely they're going to get a hate raid in their stream, especially if they're of like a medium or larger size, than that they get like a friendly raid. There are a few people that I follow who've been hate raided a ton and they don't know who I am. So even though I don't think they've like turned off raiding necessarily for the ones that I followed, I'm afraid of like I end up not using the raids on them because I don't know how they'll respond to that. Yeah. There's some elements of that like that can still happen, like it doesn't always use the feature, but the feature like automatically lets you just send them so everyone ends up there without having to click a link. Like I was saying, the people who came to my stream, it wasn't through that, it was just through finding like organizing on Discord or something. Like, yeah, it's definitely not the only part of the problem, but it gave them the tools to set up the culture of doing it. And from what I understand, shockingly, Twitch has not done a fantastic job of enforcing rules against it. And I know what you're thinking, like, Twitch is normally so on top of things, so how could they miss the mark so badly on this one thing? And I am as shocked as you are. Go on. Is it there? No, it looks like it's here. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Those. We got two little hooks. Overall, I think Twitch's mod tools are better, but it's like from the actual streaming end, I struggle a lot more getting to the mod tools on Twitch than if I need to ban someone on YouTube. Maybe it's just because I'm more practiced banning people on YouTube, because the spam bots show up more. But oh well. Eh. Need to do two of these things. There. Why did it say I need to make two of these? Okay, no, that is actually... It is there. The picture just looked like it. It's kind of weird. These go on there. And these go on... end. Even have another one of those pieces to put on? What? Did I use a white one where I should have used the gray one before? Or was there not supposed to be one of those pieces? This is all supposed to be there. That's supposed to be there. Did I fuck something up? You don't have nubbins on top. Oh yeah, thank you for moderating, Bubble. I don't think I made a mistake on that. If I did, I'd have another piece, but it's unless it's the gray one somewhere. I use a maybe you're supposed to be gray. I'm gonna just switch that. That must be it. I must have made a mistake on that. I just gotten the wrong color. And if I didn't, well, at least that one looks better, being the wrong color than this one. Okay, you're just covered. Two big flats. Jiggling the camera way too much right now. Sorry. Anyone getting motion sickness from my sins? Alright, now this goes together. Those all stack up. All the exterior bits. We got, I think, a BD head. This gets capped off. This gets capped off. That goes there. Huh. Now I'm missing a gray one. I'm missing two gray ones. This... bag am I on? No, I'm only supposed to be on bag 4. Did I drop something? I don't think so. They're pretty big pieces to have lost. Uh-huh. Well, I'm missing a piece for right here. I think they might have actually a piece out. What if this just doesn't have a piece? Is that my mistake? Did I mistakenly add a piece there? No, I can absolutely see the white piece there. But if I have to remove something from somewhere, I'll remove it from there. I think we are missing like a white standard plank. Oh well. My headphones? This? My microphone? This is all bag 6 over there. None of those pieces would be it. I only ever had pieces in this area from this bag. But oh well. We can get by without that one. These ones seem to be extra. If another one turns up or I have an extra one from something else, then... oh well. On to the second last bag. This one seems to be the smallest of the bag. Like I looked in the bags on the floor, and it doesn't look like the piece escaped to there. Get out of there. I mean, the other thing with all the channel stuff, I got into just a general life habit of kind of short-term myopic thinking. Yeah, this Talia soundtrack is not great. I don't like it as much as the Diana and Vi ones, at least. Yeah, like I got into very myopic thinking where it was like I didn't think about plan Bs or what minimum goals I need to hit for stuff, for long-term plans, retirement. And I just didn't really have much of a choice when I was like staying with my parents while my mom was sick. It was like I made the money I could. I couldn't leave without screwing over my parents as well. Because if I couldn't be there, and I did eventually leave, if I couldn't be there, then my dad couldn't work. So even if the YouTube stuff didn't have like a long tail, wasn't gonna last forever, then it worked for the moment, and I could reevaluate it when everything was done. But it's always done at least well enough that like I never had to stop. It's good, because I was like thinking, if I get to that point and like not getting anywhere, then I would have gotten a new job as soon as I got back to Ottawa, and that's why I went back to Ottawa when I did, because I was in a I was not the most financially stable at the time. But luckily, I didn't have to get a different job. But now, I do need to start making sure that I'm considering making sure that I'm, like, okay for the rest of my career and retirement. Nobody's stable nowadays, but YouTube is like self-employed YouTube is other considerations as well. Like a pension. I think that's just these? Yeah, they're the little guys. Yeah, I wouldn't think YouTube would go anywhere until a different platform can handle monetization for creators better. And I think nothing can. Like, I don't think you're ever going to be able to compete with Google. I mean, not ever, but like, no new platforms right now have that same capacity. So as long as anyone's doing this kind of stuff, like any like creators doing this kind of stuff as a job, as long as this industry exists, until or unless another platform has the same direct like competitive ability for ads as YouTube does, it's not gonna, no one can touch that. And with any platform like this, the user base is the thing as well. Like, you have to draw so many people away from YouTube and Twitch right away to be viable. Which, like, Mixer tried to do... Oh, this is bad. I missed a piece there. Like, Mixer tried to do for streaming, Hitbox. Like, when I started streaming, I was streaming on Hitbox. Oh, thank you, Courtney. I started on Hitbox. Hitbox doesn't exist anymore. It's always nice seeing billionaires talking about, like, well, inflation's happening, people need to just spend less, and then when their companies start doing worse because people are spending less because they're not paying anyone anything, actually, people need to spend less, but also spend all their money at my company, please. Okay, well, good luck with that. One yacht, Michael. What could it cost? I would love to, Code, but sadly, the fat cats in Washington haven't released a B2 set yet. How are you doing? Hey, Triton. Not bad, you? The right side, yes. Okay, yeah, because it goes around that little cabinet. Little BT cabinet. Look at that. Get a stim pack coming out of there. This is where you hide your drugs, I guess. Oh, and you can see it doesn't line up perfectly because I don't have the one piece that we lost. Very sad. Oh well. We'll get over it. Yeah, we did say, Triton, that you were, special thanks to Triton for being the primary reason the donation goal was hit. So this was a Triton stream. Glad you were able to make it. Stop doing that. Look, I swear the piece I'm missing is not because I knocked it on the ground. It was a giant piece that I could not possibly have done that to. Eck is pretty bad as well right now. For anyone who was there last night, like, Eck was on for a fair bit, and he sounded fucking terrible. So I'm glad we did our trip when we did. Otherwise, me and Charlie would have been catching that. Bringing it back to Ottawa in the UK. The healthcare system falling apart. I did this wrong. Need another one of these gray ones. The gray, then the white, then the red. I really need to stop resting my arms on the desk. I'm only causing problems with that. I think I've got something right now too, but I like, it might just be that I'm congested, but so my nose isn't able to keep up with the breathing that it needs to do while my mouth is talking. I was like getting out of breath talking to Dana yesterday. Well, I'm not going anywhere, Mark. Don't worry about that, but I was mostly just talking about how trying to get in more different types of videos on Datapad beyond just the AW streams, as well as working on like the history stuff and the Datapad briefs, trying to find a few more things that help bring in more people in a way that Empire at War campaigns in 2022 just don't quite do. Not getting rid of those by any means, but if there's like what I was saying before was like if there were 3 EAW episodes per week of like an ongoing campaign, then making sure there's other interesting stuff for the other days. I'm also much less strict than I was on like there needs to be a video every day and a stream every day. I definitely do need to cut back on streaming at least a little bit for the near future. Because that is the thing that ultimately ends up taking up the most time for the smallest growth. And it's the thing that, like, growing the other elements of everything tends to support more. Like, having... The thing that would grow the streams more is just growing the videos on loses. Like, with Twitch especially, viewership, it's so hard to just grow on your own unless you're doing, like, 8 hours a day, and even then it's like, maybe you'll grow, maybe you won't. But if you have another platform like Loses here on YouTube that direct people towards, that is like the most reliable way to do it. So as much as I'd like to do more streaming than anything, if I focus a bit more on videos and stop having 5 or 6 days a week where I'm streaming, then as other stuff goes better, I can increase the streaming as well. So if I'm doing like 3 days of streaming instead of 5 days of streaming per week, which is still a good chunk of streaming. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, everyone does seem to really like the GC against Templin. Good. That was a lot of fun to make. Just too bad it ended how it did. The streams with Mark are always fun. I think we're going to do some Age of Empires soon. I don't know if it's going to be recorded or not. But if we do an unrecorded game, maybe we'll do a recorded one afterwards as well. I'd like to work more with Mark. Well, as far as Star Wars videos go, like the clips always do, like the clip channel do well when there's topical stuff to cover. Like datapad briefs, even the ones that don't have the word controversy in the title. The one yesterday, I put out 2 yesterday, and they both hit like 15, like in the past, what, 2 days I put out 5 clips, and then 4 of the 5 have hit 15,000 or higher, and then the ones from the days before, like of the last 10 videos, I think there's only been like 3 or 4 that haven't hit 15K. But it's more difficult to grow the datapad stuff. That type of stuff that I'm doing that's like, it's not based on a current topic. It's like Legends analysis or like the deep dive into the Clone Wars stuff. Like the Star Wars Maps Are Lying to You video is doing really well. And if everything could get 25k views like that, it'd be a lot more feasible for me to do datapad videos there. But with my strategy with datapad in the last little while was rather than forcing myself to do X number of videos in a certain period, I'm trying to make sure that the video itself is good enough in covering a topic that will get like minimum of 5,000 views, which before was kind of a ceiling for a lot of datapad content unless it did really well. So I'm trying to build, like make it so that anything I put out on the channel, rather than just putting it out so that I have a thing that I did that week, I am confident having it be there. If someone finds it, then they'll probably like it And so far I'm happy with that for data. And if I could like broaden that a bit more so I could do the videos more often, that'd be great. But as like a short-term thing for it, I think it's in an okay place for that. Okay, how's this work? Sliding this into the pin buckets. And then obviously Datapad does have TabCap weekly, which helps. Alright, well, we'll head. Alright, on to bag 6. Which I did not accidentally open thinking it was bag 2 before. I'm just going to drag this all over. It might sound terrible for a second, which I do apologize for, but I don't feel bad for. There we go. Since we're also kind of in like a bit of an off season for clips on the topical side, I might end up having like a few longer videos as well. I do have one more trip to make this season of going out and seeing my sister. I guess my dad as well. That'll be the Christmas trip, but I'll be doing it in like the next week or two. Book summary videos, especially for older books, it wouldn't really get much traction, unfortunately. On top of having a really long production time because you have to read. It's not really like a solid long-term niche to be able to build into. Yeah, 2 times. 1, 2. Where's the little guys? There's a little guy. Oops, that's a separate one. Separate piece. Not the John Knowles book. Fuck the John Knowles book. Maybe I'm too harsh on the John Knowles book. I haven't read it since, like, high school. And that might be why. Maybe I could do a channel summarizing the book a separate piece rather than Star Wars books. Like, ultimately with Datapad, I think the main niche there, sometimes I'll do, like, other topical videos, but, like, the campaign videos, the... fuck, what was I saying? Yeah, the animated campaign videos, the political analysis videos, that kind of thing. That is the niche that I'm mostly working on with that. I'm not really looking for more ways to do more Empire at War content. I'm okay there. There's a little bit of a ceiling that exists there. And with old games, unfortunately, the farther out you go from them, the lower that ceiling gets. Yeah, unfortunately, Mark, I don't know that there's great tools for, like, having different criteria to come back to the same thing unless they made like 6,000 playlists, which then like the playlist would get hard to navigate. I don't know that there's... Yeah, like you can do cottage industry, building everything off of donations from a couple people who are big fans of that game. But, like, that is not a very sustainable long-term thing to do. Like, if you look at X2, that's kind of when X2 was at its peak. Like, it was getting a lot of views on other videos, but it was like the way it was able to sustain Charlie while also paying Ek and me, like splitting the streams 3 ways, but the rest of the channel 2 ways between Ek and Charlie, was because it relied on specific people giving a lot of money. And trying to do that of like, I'm going to do this Empire at War stream and people will pay me to do that stuff. Like, that's kind of what... There's another Empire at War modder who did that for a lot of stuff and had like really high donation goals to make X unit, but it's a lot of time that has to go into that and to make it worthwhile. There's no guarantee if you start a stream you're actually going to get any donations, and that person had a lot of issues with actually completing the goals they got to, which is a thing that X2 has as well. The middle. And I think that's just the black one here. Yeah. Need to do another one of those? No. Like with the stuff I'm working on, it's not that I'm like looking for a new way to make a quick buck or something. It's that I'm trying to focus on the types of content that have the long-term growth potential for helping with that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to like break into a bunch of new niches. I'm trying to figure out what each channel that I have can be doing better in what I'm doing to grow them. And like as far as like whole new type of content that I'm doing, it's like that would be the history stuff. Going to events and doing interviews would be very expensive. And they also, like, for Star Wars related stuff, you're like going to Comic-Con and trying to interview an author. That tends to not be a ton of views. Like, Alex from Star Wars Explained does interviews with the authors by like requesting them, and I could request those similar ways, but like the niche that I'm in or trying to get in is not being the Star Wars Explained style cover every Star Wars thing that comes out, because I don't have the time or the interest necessarily to do like, oh well, this book just came out, I'm gonna do like Alex's 50 Easter eggs in Midnight Horizon. Because like that alone, if you're trying to be that guy, that's what Alex does really well, and that is a full-time commitment basically to be able to cover this stuff in the depth that he does. Like if you want to be the guy who covers the new Star Wars content, I just don't see that as a long-term goal that I would be looking to work towards. I feel like as far as making Star Wars like lore content or book related content, I think Tap Transmissions works for what it is, and I think like the stuff that I am able to do, the perspective that I'm able to bring, works best focusing more on the angle of the kind of videos that I've been doing more recently on Datapad, which also kind of transfers into the history video stuff. So that's where I'm kind of deciding to focus my attention on there, rather than making like I try to do the Scion and Bastila videos, and I'm not like not gonna do those kind of videos anymore, but those are the kinds of things where I don't know that it ends up being quite as worth it for people. But also, like I was kind of saying with the other stuff, the more I can find the few things that are the channel's niches and solidify those, the more that I'm able to get the extra help I would need to kind of re-expand back into anything that I've had to leave off because it wasn't feasible for time or wasn't worth the initial investment at that point, like the time investment. Like with the one of the things with the animated Star Wars videos and stuff, like the campaign videos, is if they end up doing enough on their own, then we're getting to a certain point, then that's something that I can expand into more by, say, if I were to be able to like pay Mr. Puerto Rican to help on them as well. Wait, is this the wrong thing? No, this isn't the right thing. Picked up the wrong button. Where is the... I think that's just gray, that's the problem. I'm looking for a black one, but that's gray. The animated lore stuff does fine, but doing the videos takes basically the entire work week, if not more sometimes. So it's kind of like for a 40 to 60 hour work week, getting one video out of it that does like 15,000 views is not ideal. I do think working with other people for live stuff is more to my strength than me just sitting there. But organizing stuff to do with people is always difficult. Like, Miak and Charlie used to stream multiple days a week. We still do the Thursday streams. But, like, streaming-wise, it wasn't sustainable for all of us to be able to do that. Like, Charlie... I know it was disappointing for a lot of X2 people how little streaming has gone on with that, and how X2 in general just didn't stick around. Like, I think if there had been more of a push on videos and trying to solidify a niche there, like, it could have gone on more. But the streams alone weren't going to be enough to, without like a lot more people coming in, without like new games that were bringing in a lot of people, they weren't going to be a sustainable audience. Like, Charlie wouldn't be employed right now. Me, Mark, and Shaq are planning to do some Sins 2 when that's out. I know Shaq wasn't like super impressed with Sins 2 as it was in the technical beta, so I'm hoping once the game is more fleshed out, he comes around a bit more on it. But 3 of us are going to be probably playing some of that. And one of the things with the clips with datapad briefs is that I see growing that as a way to redirect traffic to regular datapad. So as the thing that grows the easiest right now, that's kind of why I've been kind of backing off on regular datapad and doing more of the clips, because it's way easier to grow a clips channel and then transfer, like try to see how much that viewership can transfer to a longer form channel than it is to just... I guess this goes better if I'm holding this in the frame. And to just like keep doing what I'm doing and tread water on where datapad would be otherwise. Yeah, some of them like that, like the Star Wars War video, like that did really well on clips. And I did a longer version for datapad because I found more elements to the topic that could make a longer video. And it wasn't like the Andor stuff where it's like, oh, this bit in Andor I need to cover right now on the clips channel, else no one's gonna care. Like, that was a thing where it was kind of a... If people were interested in the 5-second version of it, then maybe the 5-minute version of it they'd be also interested in. But there's also just like, if I'm consistently getting 50 to 100,000 views on datapad briefs, and I put like end screens in or put in a community page saying, hey, if you like this, go watch stuff on my longer channel as well, there's like a not insignificant number of people who would be up for that, in the same way that like datapad and losers feed into each other, but like more directly because it's the same type of content. And then everything benefits from it. Because like growing a longer form channel on YouTube right now is fairly difficult. Whereas growing the smaller channels, or the channels that do shorter form content, those videos just take off like wildfire a lot more right now. And that's kind of why I've started the history channel, focusing on shorter videos, even though in the long term, I want to kind of extend the length of the videos as well. Because you can put out more, there's a higher chance of like something catching on. There's still a good informational content to it. But you get a better sense of what's working and what's not. And everything works out. Yeah, I'd definitely be able to leverage some of the review and discussion line or into longer stuff, but I've never been like a big review like a big review person in general. And yeah, I did history and poli-sci in university, rather, on university. I don't think YouTube review culture is particularly healthy either, so it's not something that I love getting too deep into. Like, I kind of do a bit of it on TapCaf and then kind of leave it there. But I think it largely is more to the benefit of larger channels being able to do that. Like, I enjoy TapCaf because me and Justin, well, we agree on a lot. I think each of us has enough of our own perspective that, like, talking to him, he'll bring up things I didn't think of, or I'll bring up things that he didn't think of. But it's not... It's neither super confrontational, nor super, like, just blowing smoke up each other's asses or something. Yeah, like, reaction videos are another thing that, like, I think I just don't necessarily have the personality for, like, a reaction video. I could definitely do more, like, if Datapad grows more, I think there's more room to do, like, Andor just came out, these are the themes I want to talk about from it. Not so much review as, like, analysis in that kind of way. And I think there could definitely be room for that, but in the short term, putting that extra time into Datapad right now doesn't make as much sense. I don't something. Whereas focusing us on some of the other stuff that'll help it grow in the meantime, and then getting back into it later when there's more growth for it and other stuff supporting it, makes it more worthwhile. Like, that's kind of what the whole thing is. It's not like cutting out any kind of content or ruling out any kind of content. It's figuring out what makes the most sense for me to focus on in the short term, and figuring out what stuff might be able to come back later once there's more of a either demand or other stuff supporting it, and which elements of what I'm doing would I be able to get other people to help with at some point if I had the resources to do that. Like, there's a ton of stuff that I think, like, the one of the things with, like, reviews and just immediate reactions or whatever is that they're typically stuff that, like, the core audience of a person will watch more, so there's, like, a higher baseline for it. But you kind of have to get to the point to do it where people have some reason to care about your opinion. And if you're doing, like, a reaction to everything, if, like, that's what your whole thing is, then that can work. But to have that be your whole thing as, like, a profession, you almost have to, like, start with that, only do that, and then you only have it become your profession once it's grown to such a point that, like, people are fine with it. You can't really transition into that being a thing as, like, your way to grow. Like, if you look at Datapad, when I've tried to start off doing, like, reviews of Andor or reviews of Mandalorian, it isn't the best. Like, they're not. There's, like, the people who will watch every Datapad video will watch it, but I don't think there's a single person who's, like, gotten into watching Datapad because of my Andor Episode 1 review or Mando Episode 1 review or that kind of stuff. Maybe through Datapad or through TapCap. Like, there's definitely people who've come in through TapCap, but that's, like, an established, longer form thing where I could never make TapCap my full job. TapCap is largely just for fun, as well as being a thing that is for, like, the more engaged people. Okay, what is... Shorts are the biggest money at the moment. So yeah, like, the clips channels, they're the biggest way to grow. Like, as far as my channels go, like, loses and datapad briefs are pretty neck and neck. Like, datapad briefs gets way more views than any of the other channels, but like, as far as what allows me to both support the thing that it's doing and do more other stuff, like time investment versus output, then like the briefs channel, the short form lore channel, and like Andor reaction and all that stuff, that is number one. That is what ultimately will allow me to focus on other stuff. Which is why I kind of said, like, I want to use that to help subsidize the other topics, the other channels, the longer form stuff that might have more stability than the kind of like short-term explosive growth of short-form content. Like, I didn't start Datapad Briefs with the expectation that that would last forever, and that's the channel that I'm going to be doing until I'm like 60 or something. Whereas, like, content may evolve on Datapad or Loses or Common History, but those are the ones that, like, the long-term health is the hope. This one go in. What will B2? I mean, not necessarily YouTube, but like being in some kind of space and making enough money that I can retire. Like, that's why, like, people think YouTubers make a fuck ton of money at some of the bigger ones, and a lot of them do, but it's finding whatever the thing is that'll allow you to be in an okay position to have a short career like we do, and in what period can those things be transitioned? This is difficult. Probably going into the other direction. The absolute worst Lego set has to be the fucking Kenobi one. Like the flat fucking Vader duel one. Did I mess this up? Why is that? Why is that kind of beam in the middle? Did I go one too high? I think I did. Ah, I fucked up. That's why. I think people end up making probably too much of a big deal out of retcons. Even as someone who's like primarily interested in Star Wars for the whole wider universe. I don't think there's... I don't love when they happen, but like, the retcons in canon cause a big kerfuffle whenever they happen, but then the world keeps on spinning and everyone's fine. Alright, there we go. Most of that was happening off screen, which I do have a terrible setup for this. I apologize, but we got the two. It's so cute. I mean, the Grand Inquisitor wasn't killed. It's not even that it looks like he dies in Kenobi and then other things brought him back or something. It's that he looks like he dies in Kenobi, but then he's not dead in Kenobi. He comes back at the end of Kenobi. Yeah. Yeah, if we got another Lego build, I'm going to try to get like a proper document cam set up. This has worked alright, but the field of view is not quite what it ought to be. I hope you all enjoyed it either way. As we approach the end phases of bringing life to B2, or not B2, BD. The discussion topics have definitely been a lot more inside baseball, but I figured for the people who are going to be coming to this stream, that'd be a higher percentage of people who are interested in it, rather than me just making a video of like talking about that without the Lego sets, or continuing to talk about it in the Empire playthrough, which I do need to stop. So we get the cabinet, the stim packs, and in they go. B2 is, or fucking BD is smuggling drugs. His antenna. So happy. There's no way Dana will be able to force this guy to stay downstairs. Do the feet clip onto those? No. That's just the sign that clips on. This gets the plaque. Is this UCS or something? Or whatever that is? I've never had one of those before, so I don't know if that's what the only ones that get the plaque. Please get the sticker. I get to apply the sticker. I get to mess up applying the sticker. There we go. Oh wait, this goes the other way. There. We got our little stand. There's an even tinier BD. Oops. Oh, I just fucking beat that the fuck off my desk. The little guy goes on there. There we go. Move this out of the way. We got our little plaque. Oh, I guess it can face me. We got our little droid. All right, well, thanks again for watching, everyone. Hope you have enjoyed the stream. That's going to do it for today. We'll be back on Sunday with some sort of fun shenanigans on Twitch with Scarecrow, Slevered, and Inertial. Still waiting for Baldur's Gate, but we'll find something else, maybe some more Deep Rock Galactic or something. But I'm going to go put this upstairs and make dinner, probably. Dana's not home yet, I don't think. By the way, thanks again, everyone. Have a good night.